Okay, so we're ready to record the voice of the narrator. I've got the playhead queued up to start roughly where the music starts fading. The narrator, that's the track that is highlighted with the red button there. This will be my actual record button, and I've got the script queued up. I read it a few times. This will be my third or fourth take. So just saying that's normal. It's going to take a few times, and I would say plan to record in small chunks in case you make mistakes, because you'll probably make mistakes. I definitely did. Right, so here we go. The makers of bromoquinine cold tablets bring you another adventure of Sherlock Holmes, with Basil Rathbone as Sherlock Holmes and Nigel Bruce as Dr. Watson. When you are threatened with a cold, remember this. Bromoquinine tablets are made expressly for the relief of colds. They are not a cure-all. They are made for one thing and one thing only, and that is the relief of colds. Isn't it better to take a preparation that is only one use rather than one that has a half a dozen uses? Ensure yourself the advantages of specialized medication. When you feel a cold coming on, take bromoquinine tablets. Okay, I'm going to stop that there because I was getting a little stressed out trying to get the text to the right size. So I'm going to cut that back so I can judge by the size of the wave that right about there is where I stop talking. Okay, let's sort this out because that was really annoying trying to mess around with the size of the text here so that I could actually read it in one page. Okay, now here we are in Dr. Watson's study. Let's do that. So I'm going to bring my playhead back to the top here. Maybe overlap a little bit. Okay, here we go. And now, here we are, seated once more in Dr. Watson's study. The good doctor is wandering aimlessly about the room, tidying objects on his desk, straightening a row of books. Well, Dr. Watson, you certainly have a passion for law and order. A place for everything, and everything in its place, I always say. I do hate a mess. Holmes, on the contrary, was one of the untidiest men that ever drove a fellow lodger to desperation. When I find a man who keeps his cigars in the coal scuttle, his tobacco in the end of a Persian slipper, and his unanswered correspondence transfixed by a jackknife in the very center of the wooden mantelpiece, then I begin to give myself virtuous airs. Okay, that's a good little chunk. And I was thinking, so when we get to this paragraph now, here we are, seated once more in Dr. Watson's study. I think that'll be a good spot to add in the fireplace. So back to my sound effects track here, or maybe ambient sounds, because that's a background one as opposed to the feet and things like that. Okay, and then fireplace from my Sherlock Foley library. I'm going to drag into the ambient sounds track around there. A note track will not work. We added your file to a new track instead. Oh. Okay, fireplace background. Great. So it solved my problem for me. I might delete this one then. Delete track. Okay, so here's my fireplace background. Let's hear what that sounds like. Specialized medication. When you feel a cold coming on, take bromoquinine tablets. And now, here we are, seated... Okay, so and now that's where I start Dr. Watson's study. So I want this one to fade in right where my playhead is. So I click my dots and lines. I'm going to add an automation for the volume. And we want it to come in maybe a little after I introduce Dr. Watson's study. So my other point will be down over here. So now it will be a gradual fade in. Let's hear what that sounds like. Ensure yourself the advantages of specialized medication. When you feel a cold coming on, take bromoquinine tablets. And now, here we are, seated once more in Dr. Watson's study. The good doctor is wandering in... Okay, I like that. And then You'll sort of see how long you actually need your ambient sounds to go. I'll probably end up cutting that back. But I'll show you, that's enough, I think, for now. Yeah, and when you get to the points in the script, so you can have someone else read the Sherlock Holmes, like maybe you'd ask your sibling or your roommate, or use the collaboration button to invite. Oh, thank goodness it's saving my project. That's good advice. Click save very often, this button right here that I clearly didn't do. But you can invite your classmates to collaborate on this. And what you'll start doing if you're working with someone else on this is there is a sync button that comes up when you're starting to collaborate. So if I do a bunch of work on it and then hit sync, that's when it updates the file for everybody. I guess I'll stop there. And please come to office hours next Wednesday. It will be, what will the date be? Wednesday at 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock. There's a Zoom link on the homepage of our website. And please come and ask me your questions, or we can work on editing it together. Thank you.